Hello, my friends. We have just finally completed High Friers, level 13, and which is the most lowest efficiency that I have, and I have every reason to believe that it is due to my conveyor setup, which, yeah, it's not pretty, but we're gonna jump back in here, load my solution up, and kind of walk through it. Here we are. Oh, what a mess it is. So the first thing I want to note is that this could probably be condensed in some way so that things have less travel time. Knowing what I know now, in which the orders are mostly fried chicken and the double bacon cheeseburgers, I would probably have put those two closer. And if I had failed this on when I finally fired everything up, I would have rearranged things so that the chicken melt and the cheese dog, which I have assembled over here, would probably go somewhere over here instead. The other thing is just the general orientation of things. You can see where I have storage units is where things are being sorted for takeout and restaurant. And this is the first time they've introduced the different windows here, and it is just a pain to try to account for everything. So hopefully there's more of Hopefully there's more of these which are simpler to just introduce the concept, because this was a whole lot to just introduce this concept. Now, they gave you plenty of power to work with, so you'll see I have a lot of these conveyor grills all set up around here. Then just going through Cheesy Dog, I made it very linear here. Here's your buns. Here's the hot dog. I didn't need to do anything to this. Everything, I should note, is on their normal operating time. The cheese is down here and goes up in a straight line into here. This goes into the bin, and then I have for each one, so a takeout of a cheesy dog versus a restaurant of a cheesy dog, I have an arm for each and a order reader for each to put it on the appropriate conveyor. So this, believe it or not, will go and sort under here. I wasn't sure about that, and I could have easily just pushed this back one, but just to let you know, you do not need an extra, like, tile in order to do that. So that'll go that way, that'll go that way, and as you see, it's a very short distance if those were ordered, but you don't know what kind of orders you're going to be getting. When I do this next, like to start and show you this in action, I'm going to actually keep an eye on to see if it is the same pattern of mostly fried chicken and double bacon burgers. So next up is the chicken melt, which again, I should mention that everything is at their standard dispensing times. One thing that I had thought to do, just on the topic of dispensers, is to put these with the, do these have? Yeah, so we have high-speed dispensers now available to us in the regular levels rather than just the special ones. And I was figuring maybe we could do that as well, and then put one of the stack, oh, those aren't available yet, the stacking arms. Though that was really helpful with the last challenge. But anyway, so normal times, these get combined. This, because I have to slice after it's been cooked for the chicken, I just let that be its own line, and then the cheese gets sliced and thrown in. And again, the same thing. I should mention that these do not have to be smart. They can be dumb arms and receive the one thing, because they're not trying to look for something. Now, I probably could have tried to combine a little bit, but I don't think that would have been exactly possible, because you need to sort to two different things. You need one side of this tile to get things in, so I don't believe mixed, unless you're doing some other scenario where you don't need two just to sort through which is which, whether it's going to restaurant or takeout. I don't believe you can have mixed items into the storage unit. So anyway, here's the path that takes, which starts to get a little long. I believe this is one of the longest routes for the restaurant for the chicken melt, which is actually okay because the chicken melt didn't take that long to manufacture. Then moving on, the bacon burger. This seemed to be, again, with the patty, I probably would have considered putting another patty, but this here, the cooking time for this seems to be a limiting factor. I could have probably put like both of these on their own separate lines and filled the orders out a little quicker. And also was considering bringing down the manufacturing time, which 8 seconds is a lot. If we had the advanced assembler, I definitely would have opted for that. So here's the cheese, the bun, 2 burgers. This is being controlled in that way. I think at this point, if you've made it here, you know how the order readers go for each one. You just want a one-to-one for each ingredient that is needed. So that's the patty twice, the cheese twice, and then 1 and 1. Here, it's the same story. This is where it's going for the takeout. Again, it's a pretty long one, and then for the restaurant, it's pretty short. But unfortunately, with these bridges do slow down your items, so if there's a way to avoid bridges, that would be a good idea for your playthrough. And then last but not least, the fried chicken. We have everything going into the food processor, going in here to create the breaded chicken slices, and then into the fryer, into the packager, in here, where it'll either go to the restaurant through this controlled arm or all the way to takeout. So let's see it in action. Now, the other thing I noticed through this one is that the orders have never come in more slowly. And it doesn't seem like it makes sense to do that, because ultimately the result is the same. But there goes the chicken. You can see it takes a little while, but it does manage to meet all the objectives, so I haven't messed with it. It could be much more efficient, though, I will admit that. Power usage is through the roof, probably the highest that I've seen it spike when everything is going, but it's the same pattern for the ordering here. It's bacon burgers and fried chicken for the most part, with a cheesy dog and chicken melt here and there. But yeah, these gaps in the ordering, it's kind of annoying. We do get there eventually. I know it's a little dicey, and I didn't expect this to work the first time I put all this together and hit start, but we got lucky there. And thankfully for the restaurant, the double bacon burgers, they do have kind of a faster track than the takeout, which is all the way over there. I think just in terms of the tile design and the layout, if the robot was being efficient, the takeout order would be more centralized like the restaurant is, but who am I to question a robot? There goes the fried chicken. If you note the speed it slows down doing those bridges, it's I hope that there's a fast bridge in the game, hopefully. Maybe that can't be, because maybe it'll just launch the food. I don't know, but there's the last chicken melt we need, and we've achieved success here. So I wonder if you guys have done this already, how you fared. The efficiency is just miserable, but that's what we had to do in order to get the 3 objectives. I know some of you are out there trying to get 100% efficiency, which I don't know if I am that hardcore of an Automachef player as you, but hopefully this helps some of you out there. Please throw me a like or subscribe if it did, and I'll see you in the next one.